Stellar. Welcome to my channel, and I really hope that this timeless pick a card reading is going to be helpful to you. So we are doing a topic that I have not done before, and it's going to be the question, how do they underestimate you? And I thought it was kind of an interesting thing because it's like, we always are like, what do they see about you, blah, blah, blah. Well, what about like what they don't see? Like who you really are as an example, or maybe we can dig into some qualities there. So yeah, we have 5 different groups to choose from. And they're 5 different tarot decks. They are all linked down below if you want to find them or to purchase. But we have the Green Witch Tarot. We have the Witches Tarot. We have the Good Tarot, the Unseen World Tarot, and we have the Tarot of the Divine. So, like I said, it'll all be linked down below, as well as all the other oracle decks that I'll be using too. So, with that being said, I hope that you guys can just tune into your intuition, take a deep breath, think about that person on your mind, and then find out where you're feeling drawn. And you will find the timestamps in the description box or down below somewhere in the comments. And yeah, so with that being said, if you do want more exclusive pick-a-cards, you can join here as a member on my channel and get some exclusive content. I also can, oh man, what is my brain? Brain lag, oh my goodness. Sorry, I also do astrology over on my astrology channel if you want to check out the link to that as well. And then if you want a personal reading with me, whether it's tarot or astrology, you definitely can do that over on my Etsy store, at least at the time of this recording, and the information should be all down in the description box, okay? So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Hello my friends, I've chosen group number 1 here, which is the Green Witch Tarot. And I really do like this deck. I rarely use it though, to be honest. You know, when I first got it, I was really excited, and then I had gotten it for I got it for myself, and then I don't know, I just didn't connect with it at the time. You know, I go through phases. Like I think a lot of other people who are tarot readers, we have our phases and some of our favorites, and then some that we feel more connected to. But yeah, I chose the Two of Athames, and all of the cards have the Two of Swords, and I think it's just kind of this one of course shows a little bit of a different situation, but oftentimes that Two of Swords kind of shows that idea that somebody isn't seeing something or their eyes are closed to something, right? So I thought it was a nice metaphorical touch. Spirit guides, angels, and ancestors guide me in this reading for those that have joined into this group. And what is this person on their mind not seeing about them? What do they underestimate? What are they underestimating about them? We also have the Five of Pentacles right here as well. You know what's interesting is I get a song, and I know it's kind of a funny one if you don't like country music, but Ain't That Lonely Yet by Dwight Yoakam. I feel like for some of you that could be how you feel towards this person. Go look up the lyrics, because it basically it's like, once there was a spider in my bed, I got caught up in her web of love and lies. She spun her chains around my heart and soul, never to let go, but I survived. And it's basically like, in the song, it's like, you keep crying on the you keep calling me on the telephone, say you're all alone. Well, that's too bad, you know. And I have a feeling that for some of you, this person may underestimate actually how disinterested or disconnected you are from them, or that's kind of what I feel here. I mean, if that's not the case, then it may be on the other side of things, that this person may think that you don't value them, that you don't give a shit about them. Okay, so be careful, okay? Because, you know, if you're wanting somebody, you know, this could be that sign that this person may not think you're interested in them, okay? On the other flip side of things. But I think for a good portion of you, it's going to be more of that first situation here. Yeah. one other thing too here is that this person may not. So the Four of Chalices is a really interesting card because it talks here about, yeah, you're not needy. You're not needy. We have the Holy King in connection, relationship, and love. You're not a needy person. You're very fine on your own. Some of you might be on like a very deep spiritual journey, very much invested in something that is a little bit more deeper than a hookups or just like, I mean, the mediocre aspects of life where you just kind of eat, work, sleep. You know what I mean? Like there's something deeper to you, and this person may not realize actually how spiritual you are, or how, you know, even how spiritually advanced you are, by the way. But I was going to say the interesting thing about the Four of Cups, going back to that, is that, you know, it's a card where she's kind of happy with what she's got. She's not really interested in what's at the door. Anyway, she's fine with what she has. And this can be like the rejection of things that don't feel good to us as well. And with problematic behavior under there, I feel like you guys have a low bullshit meter, okay? Just putting it bluntly. I feel like you guys might have a low bullshit meter and you're not going to put up with too much, okay? And maybe this person doesn't quite realize just how much of a, you know, meter you got there. That you can easily reject what doesn't feel emotionally right to you or what doesn't fit into your routine emotionally, you know? That's what I really feel here, at least on that first section right here. And it says here as well, what are the toxic behaviors from you or from others that are present in your life right now? I also feel like some of you may be very detached from getting emotionally involved in things. Like you've already kind of shut down a lot of problematic behaviors you've had in the past. So like if this is a past person, as an example, or somebody that you've known for a while, they may not realize how much you've changed, especially if you did have a more problematic side before. I feel like you guys have really learned how to shut that down, you know, like the problematic behaviors. I mean, not that we are always perfect or that we can't make mistakes, but I feel like you guys have a very good handle on yourself. I feel like you guys have definitely, you know, gone after a more spiritual side of life and what's solid and what's real. And with the Holy King, that really makes me feel as if, you know, it's almost like that song, Better Off Alone by LSDJ. Do you think you're better off alone? But you might be like, yeah, I am better off alone sometimes. And that's all right. Okay. Yeah, I do really feel, though, a very strong spiritual side to you. And what do they underestimate about them? How was this person underestimating them? We have Chalice Hill. Yeah, we have wellness, faith, balance, yin and yang. And again, I think it's like you balance yourself. You are happy yourself. We have the number 9 here showing up twice, by the way. So I don't know if some of you are born in September or life path number 9s, or maybe 9 is important to you. Maybe you're in a 9 year as an example as well. Maybe you have a lot of 9th house placements, something about the 9th. And maybe you're on a 9th house journey. Maybe you guys are having 9th house transits where, you know, 9th house is all about spirituality and like higher learning and sort of optimism and all that good stuff, right? Having faith, it's really the house of faith actually as well. But yeah, look at that. We have flow showing through as well. Look at this. We have sanctuary. We have creative force, flow, Mother Earth, the Chalice Well. So we have Chalice Hill and Chalice Well. Very interesting. So, and to me, chalices represent what? Cups, right? And so I feel like a lot of you, maybe some of you are strongly associated with water. You maybe have a lot of water in your chart, but this could also talk about a lot of emotions, but they're in a flow and they're in a balance. They're calm waters. And yeah, I feel like, you know, sometimes how people might think, oh, like, okay, and I'm just going to give you a random example, and I'm not saying that this person's like that, but if they've dealt with a lot of competitive people or a lot of like toxic people or high drama, high needs, you know, high maintenance kind of energies, I feel like this person maybe they look at the world like that, like, oh, everyone's kind of high maintenance, or everyone, you know, all so-and-so people are. And it's like, no, you're not high maintenance. You're really easygoing. Okay. And there's also a strong creative force to you as well that they may not know. Maybe you have some hidden talents or abilities that they're not yet aware of. But we also have the king of the fairy realm, death and rebirth, personal power, renewal, and journey. And he's kind of going forth with a lot of force. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's like you've maybe overcome mountains in your life and you've gained a lot of personal power. With death and rebirth as well, it's almost like, I mean, especially for those of you where this might be someone in the past, it might be like, you know what? Like, you have no idea how much I'm over you or over this situation. Or I really just don't give a shit. I'm on a journey, that is spiritual and higher vibes, and I'm just kind of going my own way. And of course, even if it's not connected to this person as well, maybe they just don't know you well enough to know all of the struggles that you've gone through and how much, you're kind of over any sort of child's play or, things that are just not worth your time. You're not needy. I really don't see neediness here. It's like totally the opposite. It's like, you're fine. I'm fine. You know what I mean? Don't come out with me with anything. I'm on my journey. And that's what I'm seeing here. Anything else here for group number 1? We have romance. And now, that's not to say that you don't have a romantic side to you, right? Interesting. Confession. Someone is confessing. Hold on. And we've got compliment. We have romance, confession, and compliment. For some of you, I don't know. It does seem like there's a romantic aspect to this for a lot of you. And I will tell you that this person may underestimate a reaction from you. Like, they don't know what a reaction from you would look like if they were to kind of make a move. I feel like in some way you may be hard to read for this person at this time, though. And that may also play into the idea of them underestimating because they don't exactly know how to peg you, or like, what's your deal? Okay, maybe they would like to compliment you or confess something, or take some sort of romantic gesture toward you, but they're not really sure if it's a viable situation or something that could go somewhere, right? So you may be giving them that sort of impression, right? And finally, I'm just going to take one of these. And also what's interesting too is for some of you, this person may not see that softer side of you for some reason. And maybe it's because they haven't had the chance yet. Or perhaps you've just been very turned off from the situation, or kind of distant, or something like that, okay? Because also, that's one thing I'm getting here. Like, maybe they're not as, that you can show a lot of affection. We have moonlight enchantment with magic. I do feel like that there's a strong spiritual side to you, a strong magical side. You may actually even have like a really strong talent for spell work that this person isn't sure of or it doesn't know about as well. So you actually might be really good at like honing in. We also have that wolf there. Maybe the wolf is your spirit animal. But yeah, it does feel like that there's a strong magic to you as well. And maybe, again, for some of you, you're a closet witch or something like that. And that could be what that represents. But it could also just represent that you actually have a stronger, like just a really strong magical presence in terms of like literally making things happen. You know what I mean? And we also have that refuge, which is really interesting because of the, all that hermit kind of energy, that 4 of Cups, she's kind of off on her own. It feels like, again, it kind of is just going back to the original thread, which is like they don't underestimate how good you are on your own and that sort of thing. Also, if you've been kind of distant from this person, just a side note for some of you, if you've been distant from this person, like you've been shutting them down or kind of ignoring them or something like that, I would say that they may not understand why. Or, yeah, I just don't feel like they would understand why. Or they're fine with it. I don't know. But I feel like more so they wouldn't understand why. That's the main thing, kind of for me. Or they underestimate how long you'll stay gone as well. That could be it. Like, do I mean that you're kind of in refuge from the situation for some of you? That you're not going to be coming out of hiding, or not even out of hiding, because I don't think you're hiding at all. But yeah, that's what I'm getting. What an interesting reading, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this, or that it brought some sort of insight, and I wish you the very best. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think? Who did you ask about? Tell me all the details. I love hearing from you guys down below. And if you want to get a personal reading with me, all of that is available on my Etsy. And you can find the links in the description box, as well as the links to all the decks I'm using. And if you want to join here as a member on the channel, you get exclusive pick a card content, custom emojis, loyalty badges, depending on which tier you get. But also, if you want astrology content, I do have an astrology channel as well. You can check out the link for that too. Anyway, I wish you all the very, very best, and I'll see you next time, okay? Bye-bye. Hello, my friends. So if you chose group number 2 here, this is the Witch's Tarot. The Witch's Tarot. This is one of my favorite decks. It's actually, I honestly used the Rider-Waite for a long time, and I had the Goddess Tarot, but this is like probably my 3rd deck that I had that was a non-Rider-Waite, and I just have a very sentimental attachment to it. But it's very well worn. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah. So the person on your mind, spirit guides, angels, and ancestors guide me in this reading for those that have chosen group number 2 that are drawn to this group. Tell me about that person on their mind. How are they underestimating them? What are they underestimating? What's going on here? How do they underestimate them? We have the 5 of Cups. Interesting. I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to take 6 cards. I'm going to clarify these. Not different. I mean, this is what I would probably do in a personal reading, but how do they underestimate you? For some of you, this person may... So there's a few things. I see a King of Swords and I see a Queen of Cups, okay? And they're at opposite kind of sides. There's a lot of stuff in between. I think both of you actually, to be honest, could be hurt at this time. And each one of you sees the other one as fine. I feel like that's actually something I'm seeing here, by the way. So this could be mutual. By the way, so maybe both of you feel quite disappointed or upset about the situation, whatever's going on between the two of you. And I don't know, for some of you, you may have healed, and maybe this person is hurt and perceives you as hurt too, but actually you're pretty fine with the 9 of Cups and the Star. You know your story, so you'll know which one you fit into. But yeah, this is, I think, one of the main factors here. There's also a strong sensitive side to you, I do feel, and some of you might be easily hurt. Maybe this person doesn't realize it as well. Sometimes, like people might be used to joking around a certain way and they may not realize that it hurts another person. Maybe the other person's quite sensitive. It's like that song, it doesn't take a talent to be mean. Your words can hurt things that are unseen. So please be careful with me. I'm sensitive and I'd like to stay that way. It's a Jewel song, very old song. I was like... one of my first albums, CDs, anyway. And yeah, it may be that they don't necessarily see how sensitive you are. This person also may have a lot of spiritual signs when it comes to you that they underestimate, actually. They may have a lot of signs and synchronicities, I feel. It's like they ignore like messages from the divine, perhaps because they're analytical, logical, kind of like, it feels like they could be the type that doesn't exactly believe in such things. Or they're kind of skeptical about that kind of stuff. Or they just don't think twice about it. They just take it as a coincidence. Oh, interesting coincidence. And that's it. Like, I love when you guys in the comments are like, there's a few of you and you're like, it's a coincidence. And you air quote it. I'm like, yes. This person also may still have hopes when it comes to you. But I kind of wonder if you're better off on your own. Or maybe this person thinks you need to heal still from something as well. Maybe they think you haven't finished healing, that you're not ready, that you need to kind of get to a new place. Maybe they think that you need some sort of independence emotionally as well. I do feel like this person underestimates your potential, your reach, I will say. I know that may not feel good to hear for some of you, but I do feel like somehow it's like they're not seeing that exactly somehow. And maybe it's because of anger or pain or endings that may have caused this, disappointments. It could be because they're wallowing in their own sadness or their own guilt or their own shame. But it somehow does feel like this person, they also may not see past a happy facade as an example either. This person may kind of take things at face value. You know, you're smiling, you must be happy. You know what I mean? And they don't think deeper than that. You have so much potential within you. I feel like you guys actually have a magnetic attraction towards things like that you want. And I feel like that sometimes you even yourself don't see all of your own potential, by the way, as well. We have message. Impact. Yeah, I told you that they underestimate the impact that you have. Maybe it's like somehow they're just not seeing all of your accomplishments. Maybe they don't know yet, okay? Maybe they don't know that part of you yet. Maybe for some of you it's that. But it's like you make such a difference in people's lives. And it's like maybe somehow they just don't realize it. Like, it's like this person could be very self-focused or focused on their own problems. I do feel, though, this person also could be kind of waiting for you to talk to them, reach out, that sort of thing. What do they underestimate? Oh my God, we had impact and brilliance. That's interesting because it really does kind of like your reach. It's almost like that's how it feels. And maybe in some way even the impact that you made on them, because it's almost like somebody who tries to rationalize everything and doesn't even realize, like, they underestimate the impact that you've even had and how much light you brought into their life even. Because sometimes when people are in too much pain or too much depression or too much problems, it's like they can't see the light. And it often happens so in relationships that people will do kind of similar things. It's like they're only seeing, it's like it's like when you can tell like a relationship is over, it's usually when people become they're having contempt towards each other. And I'm not saying that this person has contempt towards you. In some ways they might, though, even, okay? I'm just going to be really honest, especially if it's been rough, okay? They may even be sort of in a contempt position towards you, like it's like that sort of thing. But it's like maybe because the pain's too great or something, or they're pissed off or whatever it could be. But it's like in the future, I would feel like this person would see you as like the lightest part of their life, the brightest part of their life. Like it was the, you know, happy times and stuff like that and that sort of thing. I will say that for some of you, and again, this may not be for all of you, this person may underestimate you kind of coming back around because of that message card. I'm kind of wondering maybe that they're underestimating you know, maybe how upset you are about something or how bothered you are about something, and it's like you're not actually going to be reaching out to them or something, and they're kind of expecting you to. That's going to definitely be for some of you as well. Maybe not all of you. For some of you, this person may underestimate why you like them even. This person could be down on themselves. They might not feel like they have much potential. They might feel like a loser as well. Especially for those of you that don't really resonate with the contempt side of things. Like, be like, no, they wouldn't have contempt towards me. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, if it doesn't make sense, guys, you should always check a different group. You know what I mean? Like, because pick-a cards are intuitive and stuff like that. And, you know, sometimes if you're picking the wrong group, you know, you might get a weird message or whatever. And that's all right, you know. It's a good exercise for intuition, you know. But, yeah, I just feel like that's what I'm seeing. I'm going to take a few more cards here. What are they underestimating about group number 2 here? What does this person underestimate? The ethereal journey, everlasting rebirth, the other world. That's funny. There's two journey cards. So it's like how far you've made it, how far you're going. Wow. Oh my God. Look at Brilliance got popped over, and look at this. They could be underestimating an idea that you have. This is like, or some sort of action that you'll be taking. Maybe for some of you, it's like this person doesn't see like that you'll actually do something. That you'll actually do something. I feel like some of you even could have a brilliant idea. And it has so much potential. It has so much possibility. And there's a lot of power behind you. Power came out twice in these cards, okay? Journey came out twice as well. Excalibur, think about it, was like what was in the stone, right? And then he pulls it out. I feel like you guys are chosen for something, and you have so much potential in this life, and this person may not see it, perhaps because of their own faults or failures. But I feel like you guys are actually on a good journey in your life. It's what I feel. And I definitely see something in you that's very unique and clever and intelligent and inspiring. Maybe for some of you, it's like moving somewhere. Maybe you've spoken about moving somewhere, going on a journey. And it's like, you'll do it. And they don't even think you'll do it. They're like, oh yeah, they'll never do that. And you're like, damn right I will. You know, like I said, with the impact too, I do really feel that somehow in the future, especially for those of you that have had a rougher connection, which, I mean, geez Louise, we have the 5 of Cups and the 10 of Swords. I have to say, like, I can't imagine that you guys are choosing this and you're not having a rough connection, because it just doesn't seem right. It may be like that they will only kind of see in the future how much you meant or something. It may be, like I said, that they're in this sort of fog of war or fog of feelings. Yeah, but once they kind of get released from this, I look at the unicorn, the Pegasus showed up a few times. So it's almost like mythical creatures, things that are like once in a lifetime, rare and beautiful and different. And I think a lot of you have those kind of qualities that just cannot be found in the average person. You know what I mean? Not amongst the sheep, not amongst the regular folk. And nothing wrong with being regular, but there's something definitely different about you. And I feel like with the eagle spirit too, this can show that they have underestimated how much freedom you have over a situation. And maybe it's involving them, you know? that you have a much higher perspective now. So that's going to be your reading. I really, really hope that you guys enjoyed this, that it was interesting, that it was insightful in some way. And I really hope that you guys will leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. I live for the comments, you guys. And I like hearing from you. Do you know who this person is? Did it resonate? Are you getting what it's about? All that good stuff. Let me know. But yeah, as I mentioned, you know, as always, I'll say, if you want exclusive pick-a cards, you can join here as a member on the channel, where you're going to get, depending on the tier you get, of course, you could get some exclusive pick-a cards, even a personal reading on one of the tiers every month, or and they all get custom emojis and badges and stuff like that, and stickers and stuff. So you would get all those kind of things as well. But anyway, that's just an option, you know, if you just want to support, get some extra content, fun stuff. If you like astrology, I do have an astrology channel as well. You can find that link in the description box as well. And thank you in advance to all of you who donate and are so kind to the channel and me. You know, whether it's going on my wish list, leaving a super thanks, or, you know, however you go about it. But thank you so much, guys. And if you want a personal reading, all of that information is in the description box as well. Etsy is where I'm at currently as of this recording, so check me out. Lots of love to you guys, and take care. I'll see you next time. Hello, my friends. So if you chose group number 3 here with the Good Tarot, this is going to be your reading. Let me just cleanse the area here, and we'll get started. So, let's see. So, the person on your mind, what do they underestimate about you? Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, guide me in this reading. Help me give accurate, clear messages, and hopefully help the right people find their way here, okay, for this message. So hopefully you guys are guided to the right group here. Okay, how does this person underestimate them? What are they underestimating? This is something that you said. Honestly, I heard that song from Aladdin, like I Can Show You the World. I don't know. It's just what I heard, so I'll share it. I don't know if that's kind of going to be connected in some way, like how much you have on offer or how much you can give somebody. I do feel like this person underestimates how feisty you are. Maybe even how competitive you can be, or even jealous maybe. It doesn't have to be jealous for some of you. Again, jealousy isn't always a bad thing. I know that sometimes like people are like, oh, that's such a bad thing. It doesn't have to be. But this can also talk about that, you know, about being competitive, right? Passionate, energetic even. Perhaps when you're really into something. This can be really somebody who is, and in this particular deck, by the way, the Good Tarot has a little bit of a different vibe to it than the traditional Rider-Waite. So if I sound something that sounds different, you know, remember I'm reading the Good Tarot, which has its own kind of unique meanings. But this can talk about honoring differences, unity and diversity as well. Maybe for some of you, they underestimate how diverse you are and how many varied experiences you have, actually. So, do you know what I mean? Like, that's interesting. A lot of maybe different experiences that you have as well. This also can talk about how one can like have a really like big imagination as well. And so it may be that they underestimate like what a varied imagination you have, right? Especially even with that 7 of water, because to me that's imagination as well. And right, that's a key word with this, by the way, the 7 of water. Imagination, fantasy, artistic endeavors, co-creative abilities unleashed. So again, it's like maybe somehow they're underestimating for some sort of, maybe they don't know how creative you are, actually. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to mean that they underestimate and think you're not capable. Maybe with the messenger of air, we're seeing somebody who doesn't know you very well yet. But otherwise, yeah. So that's it does feel like you have a lot of brilliance to you, a lot of like clever ideas, and again, a feisty nature. Maybe for some of you, you can be quite like a sharp tongue. We have message here. We have a messenger of air as well. That's funny. Messenger of air and a message. So I wonder if there's something you've said that's kind of thrown them off. Like they don't really know what to think about it. We also have adventure. That's interesting. Maybe a lot of you like to get out. I feel like this person doesn't really understand like how much of a fighter you are for the things that you like. Again, there's a winner. The odds are in your favor. I said competitive, didn't I? Right? You're a winner. Winner chicken dinner is what you are. You like to make things happen. You want to be a winner in life. And again, that gets people far, right? When they want to win, when they want to succeed, right? It doesn't have to mean that you are competitive against other people. It could be that you're competitive with yourself, that you are your own worst enemy sometimes even, or, you know, in your biggest supporter at times, right? So I do feel like that there's like a strong like feisty side to you again that will go for what you want, fight for what you want as well. There's a side of you that's so curious to learn, I feel like, and maybe this person doesn't know it. Maybe they just don't see that part of you or that side of you. There's definitely something about you, something you've said to this person that they've underestimated or not seen clearly, I do feel. Just gonna say that. And then let's see here what else comes through. What are they underestimating? So this is a really interesting reading because I feel like it's different than the first two. It's different. You guys are, yeah, you'll keep practicing and practicing and practicing until you get somewhere. I want to say that you may actually extend a lot of kindness. And this person may even be like, is this for real? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you said something that expressed something positive towards them and they've like kind of, maybe they underestimate that you mean it. I almost feel like you've said something that this person doesn't know if you meant it or not. Like that's where they underestimate you. It's kind of like, did they mean what they said? Is this just like bullshit or, you know, pie in the sky ideas? Again, maybe it's something you've expressed that you want to do even, right? I also feel like somehow this person really just doesn't see how responsible you are and how, I'm not saying that they think you're irresponsible, but it's like maybe they just don't know you that well, or somehow they don't know that you think twice about everything, that you investigate everything, that you don't just jump like an idiot into something, that you are a deep researcher, that you're somebody who kind of goes to something with a balanced approach, with, you know what I mean, like considering all sides of things. Like you're not like just jumping out of nowhere. With Five of Fire in practice, it says to put into action, to apply a concept in a practical way, to hone a skill, to develop a habit, to exercise. Again, what you're capable of. I just feel like this person somehow underestimates your power a bit. And again, maybe it's because they just don't know you very well, or maybe somehow they're just not seeing that part of you, or for whatever reason. Maybe they just haven't got to know that part of you. Maybe they just haven't been proven yet, you know? It's going to depend on for each of you, I guess, depending on the situation. But let's see here. How do they underestimate you? Oh, we have the Lady of Shalott. Oh, here. Wait. What? 4 gray walls and 4 gray towers. Da, 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 da. Oh my god, I used to know the whole poem by heart, by the way, by Alfred Tennyson. Because I watched the Anna Green Gables too much. Also, I had the book. Anyway, okay, so we have love, victim, idealism, and we have illusion. That's really interesting considering everything else I said just now. This person could maybe wonder if you're idealistic. I have to wonder. Or like, I feel like that they somehow, maybe you've shared something with them that seems like a fantasy to them. are like not real. Like maybe they don't know that you're really can do that, or that you're really capable of doing something like that. It's almost like I had a situation with someone where it was like, why might I just move like to so and so country? And they're like, how would you do that? And I'm like, by doing it. Like, but I've moved to lots of different countries before. I'm not scared. You know what I mean? And like they couldn't fathom it. Like it was very strange for them. Like, do you know what I mean? So maybe this is like why that person, because they never done something like that, right? But I've done it so many times in my life. Like it's nothing. You know, like I don't think of it as a big deal, but I might think it's a big deal to stay in the same town for like a few years. That's like, poof, that's a weird idea for me. I've never lived anywhere more than 4 years in my life. And so for me, that's like a strange thing, you know? So, do you know what I mean? Like, and so we each have our own perspective. So again, maybe somehow something you've said, this person just doesn't, they underestimate your ability to actually do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like almost like, oh, they're just an idealist, or, you know, like they like are too like into, you know, fantasy or illusions or whatever, you know, that sort of thing. I also feel like somehow this person could underestimate what a feisty person you are. And I'm going to say this once again because we have the victim card. And again, it's like you're not a victim. You're powerful and you'll win anything, right? Remember, winner. 5 of fire. Practice. You'll keep going. You'll keep going. Okay? We have the holy thorn, the sacred, perseverance, courage, and optimism. Nothing can stop you in this life. I feel like you guys have such a strong, like, actually I feel like your root chakra is actually pretty strong in a lot of ways. Or, I don't know, that's just my feeling. And again, you guys are very steady on your feet. And you're firmly planted in reality, much more than they might realize. This almost feels like those people that think you're unrealistic. I'm going to be honest. This is the vibe I'm getting. I'm really picking up someone who thinks that you're a little bit unrealistic. Because that's not their version of life. Okay? That's just not how they see the world. But you're absolutely grounded in this, in reality. You're just a courageous person. You're just perseverant. You are optimistic. And you believe in yourself. You have strong roots. And with strong roots, one can do anything. Fear isn't a problem when you have strong roots. When you're really confident in yourself, or when you have a good place to fall back on, like me. Like one thing I think that I had a lot of trauma with my mom when I was young, because I got taken away from her at one point by my dad, and he like stole me and stuff. It was a big drama. And I had like PTSD for a really long time when I did finally get to live with her again when I was later, like older. And so I couldn't sleep at anyone's house. Like even in my teen years, I would sleep with her still in her bed. Do you know what I mean? I'm not really ashamed to talk about that, you know. I was just I had a lot of issues. And anyway, but knowing that my mom loved me the way that she did, even if we fought or had problems, I always it made me feel like I could go and do anything, and I always knew I had a place to land. You know what I mean? And it made me braver for that. And I'm not saying that you guys have maybe that person. I hope you do. I hope you have that person in this world. But even so, it's like you'd fall back on yourself. You know what I mean? Even if you didn't. It's like there's that, I don't know, there's just something about you that I don't feel like this person sees. In terms of like how perhaps rooted in reality you are, how strong actually you are, how courageous you've been in this life. Or are capable of. We have poetry, divination, creativity, and storytelling. Some of you might be wonderful poets, very creative. Some of you may have a strong artistic side or an artistic mind. Some of you actually might be quite good at divination as well. Maybe they don't know that about you. Maybe they underestimate that. We also have storytelling as well. So some of you might be writers. Again, with poetry, storytelling, any kind of writing abilities. Maybe they don't know that part about you. Maybe they haven't discovered it, or they haven't seen that part of you. You know, that sort of thing, but a very creative. And I feel, again, the storytelling, it's like you are creating your own story. And your life is like poetry. It's different. You know, it has its own, rhymes. And it's unique. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's kind of the way you live your life. So yeah, that is what I'm seeing for those of you that chose this group number 3. I really, really hope that you enjoyed this reading and you found it insightful and helpful. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. I'm very curious. And if you would like to get a personal reading with me, all of that information is up in the description box. There's a link to my Etsy store, so you can get like astrology readings, tarot readings, whatever. I have a lot of different things on there, including 24-hour readings. So if you need it quick, or if you want like a 6-month prediction, I have those. Lots of different things. If you like to have extra content like exclusive pick a cards or emojis and custom badges near your name when you comment, you can join here as a member on YouTube. Also on tier 3, you can get a personal reading with me every month, so that's a good deal. Even for a month, if you know you're going to get a reading with me, it costs like I think it's like $1.99 extra just for the other stuff. So it's kind of a, and you get access to all those pick a cards I have out there already for the exclusive ones. But yeah, anyway, so it can be a good deal. Anyway, yeah, so that's what I gotta say. I really hope that this reading was helpful, and I just send you lots of love and light, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, my friends. So if you've chosen group number 4 here with the Unseen World Tarot, done by the lovely Harmony Spirit, my beautiful friend. Whew, let's see. I'm cleansing the area. Let me just clear out the energy a little bit from the last one. I need some fresh messages. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, giving me this reading for those that have chosen God of this group. What is this person? Well, number one, I pray that you guys are led to the right group. You're actually going to make sure that you're leading the right people here and giving accurate messages. Okay, so let's get started. What does a person on their mind underestimate about them? Got the 5 of Swords. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. Honestly, I'll tell you, I've been getting a lot of music, a lot of songs, Like a Rock by Bob Seger. I don't know. It's just a song I'm getting. So maybe some of you feel, or you guys are very like kind of strong because that song is sort of reminiscent. Maybe some of you are very nostalgic types because that song is a song of nostalgia. But, the 5 of Swords is really interesting. This could show that you guys are over it. The Empress is a beautiful, usually a beautiful character in the tarot. It shows beautiful qualities inside and out. And for some of you, maybe for some, I feel like for some of you, this person may have some karmic debt when it comes to you, and they underestimate that. They also, okay, we have rekindle and compliment. I feel like you've paid debts here in this relationship. I feel like this is a relationship in which you're probably all healed or moved on from it, or this person, or that you're not really counting on it, or maybe they're underestimating that you're mad, or they're thinking that you're mad when you're not. You're cool as a cucumber, you don't care, okay? With a debt is paid. Perhaps you feel like you've paid the price with this, you've learned your lessons, you've paid your debt, you're done, okay? Maybe your investment is over, right? So this is my Blessings Oracle, but it's actually, I've been trying to use it because I created this deck, and I've been trying to use it in different formats just to kind of practice and play with it. But I think this is actually coming out really, it makes a lot of sense to me. It's definitely speaking to me. I'm going to put them over here. But yeah, we have that debt is paid. Again, maybe it's like, because we have that fresh energy with the Ace of Pentacles, solid energy moving towards the future, investing in the future, and in a better reality, and a stronger reality. And maybe it's like, maybe they don't realize like how safe you feel, like how secure you've been feeling, how good you've been feeling. With rekindle, they could be underestimating that you don't want to rekindle. You don't want to fix this. You're done. You're done investing. You're done putting your money, air quotes, money into them, or that sort of thing. For some of you, it may be like that you don't bother to invest in the things that don't. One second, let me just say something because I'm having a thought here, but let me gather it for a moment. For some of you, this person could underestimate your loyalty. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that. They may underestimate your ability to be loyal. In fact, it may be that this person underestimates their ability to feel safe with you, actually, is what I'm getting. This person could also underestimate the way that... One second, let me just see something really quick. I'm going to do something a little bit different because that's actually what I'm getting. And that's why, sorry, I had to shut up for a minute and just like let the messages come through, because I was like, okay, I asked what energy are they in about you? And I got the Eight of Swords. They're in a fearful state about you, okay? Because that's what I wanted to see. Because I was kind of like, this Five of Swords, it's like they underestimate, like, maybe they think you're mad at them, or again, maybe they don't know how loyal you are, that sort of thing. Like, they're coming from a fearful place when it comes to you for some reason. Kind of a blocked place. Maybe it's just an insecure place, okay? So that's something you should know about them, because somehow they're very like kind of maybe insecure, or feeling kind of trapped or difficult when it comes to the connection in some way or towards you, okay? So again, this may color a lot of their perceptions and their estimations. Okay, so yeah, we have that rekindle. So maybe in some way they feel like if they bring up the past as an example, maybe you think it matters more to them than it doesn't, or something like that. Okay, or yeah, maybe they think you are more upset about something than you are, or that, yeah, that's what I'm getting. We also have that compliment. Let's see here. What are they underestimating about them? Gratitude and transformation. Interesting. I feel like you're in a good place. This also could be of like fully letting go of something and feeling just grateful for it, but just being, in a transformed state. This person also may feel like you underestimate yourself, actually, a bit. What are they underestimating about them? Your ability to compromise. This person may not realize that you're a safe person. Like, maybe they have a hard time understanding that. Maybe they haven't always had the most like compromising type of relationships, or maybe they haven't had a lot of people in their life that were compromising or understanding. So in fact, this person may have a hard time seeing that. Maybe they don't. This person may underestimate that you are, maybe for some of you, you're ready to rekindle or to fix things. Maybe you've moved on and you're ready to just move past the past, as an example. And this person just thinks that you're still mad. Maybe they think that there's still debt to be paid in this situation, that they still owe you, or that, and maybe it's literal or metaphorical. But yeah, it's like, I feel like that they aren't quite seeing like exactly how, I guess, safe you are to be around, and I don't know if that comes from like a broken place, or it does come from like some sort of, I see that they come to you, like they're coming towards you from an energy of insecurity and fear. We also have renewal, rest, mystery, and healing with the Isle of Avalon that came out, number 3. We have number 6 as well, and number 8, and we have 3 here as well. So that's interesting. The Empress, perhaps creating. We have mystery. Again, I feel like this person, they underestimate you because you're a mystery. They don't really quite understand you. Again, with renewal and healing, again, if this person could think that you're still holding on to something from the past, that you're still mad about something, when in fact maybe you're not at all. You really just don't care anymore, or you're over it, or you're like whatever at this point. And that's pretty interesting for some of you. I think that's definite. Again, for some of you, this might be underestimating how much at peace you are in a situation. You know what I mean? how much you've changed and grown. We have the Lady of Shalott, idealism, love, victim, illusion. What is the deal here? We have number 27, by the way, with that one. It's okay to go after what you want. It might just want you to. And choose what makes you happy. Yeah, it's interesting too, because it's like, you know, I knew that these cards would hold some sort of further answer, because I was looking at this one and I was like, no, I think I need some more, something a little bit deeper here to look into this a bit more. It says choose what makes you happy. It's okay to go after what you want. It might just want you to. We have love here. But again, we have this sort of victim, right? And maybe you guys are actually in a much better place than this person might think. They might underestimate you and think that you're like a victim type of person, or that you might be in a victimhood about a situation, maybe in regards to them. But it's actually like you're choosing your happiness. You're not letting the boat just float down like Lady of Shalott and like letting herself just go to sleep. It's like, no, you're actively fishing from, you know, your rocks. And you're going after what you want. Maybe this person isn't aware that you guys are, they may underestimate that you're dating, or you're seeing other people, or that you're, you know, capable of catching a lot of eyes as well. Okay. That's really interesting. Maybe, yeah, like, because you see that she was like fishing that guy. So again, maybe it's like this person somehow not seeing that, you know, maybe they underestimate like how quickly you can snag somebody. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take one of these. I didn't for the other group, but I will for you. That's how I feel. I feel like you guys actually spend a lot of time in happiness and focused on really good things. Or, yeah, we have to take a time out. Also, if you've been at a break with this person, if you've been, because you remember that rest, one of the cards that came out said rest. And then we're having to take a time out. Again, there may be something that they're underestimating about this timeout. Maybe they think it's short term, but it's not short term. You're like starting over solid and fresh, and you're not, you know, going back to this situation. Maybe you're not like necessarily, there's compromise, but sometimes there's too much compromise, and you're not about to, compromise everything. Yeah, you're not being heard. They may underestimate that you're not listening or paying attention in some way. You know, it could be the opposite. For some of you, this person could be like, well, they might underestimate that you actually do pay attention to them, or you have paid attention to them again, especially the ones coming from an insecure energy, where maybe they, you know, are afraid to approach you or something like that. They may underestimate how kind and, you know, generous and gentle you are, and maybe they're just like, oh, they wouldn't even look, you know. But yeah, that's what I'm getting. But generally, I just really see a really strong energy to you. Like, I feel like you guys are planting some really bountiful seeds in your life at this time. And that is really something that I really feel like there is abundance in your future. I really do. And I feel like you guys are creating a safer and healthier and happier environment for yourself. And again, maybe somehow this person, especially for those of you where this is a difficult connection, it's like maybe they think you're still pissed, or you're still mad, or you're still in a bad place. Again, maybe they feel like they owe you with that debt card, you remember? And, you know, maybe it's like, well, could we rekindle it? Again, some of them might be overestimating, is an example, that you will rekindle something. And you're like, no, I'm looking for something good. Better than this, right? I'm attracting things that, people that are grateful for me. Maybe in some ways this person didn't make you feel like they were very grateful for your presence. Maybe you're really kind and amazing to them, and they blew it. And, you know, they owe you because you were, you know, perhaps a really nice person to be around, and, you know, you gave a lot of yourself, and, you know, you were very like nurturing and caring and stuff like that with the Empress. And it's like, sometimes when it's almost like, and so for some of you that song comes to, I'm going to tell you the song is coming to me. Just going to say it. Mad Woman by Taylor Swift. Look up the lyrics to that one. I think you don't have to be a woman, but yeah, it's sort of like no one likes a mad woman, but you like push them so far they become mad. And it's like, but maybe you're not mad, you know, anymore or whatever, and maybe they think you still would be or something. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting. I really hope that this resonated and helped. You know, I prayed that, you know, you guys would get drawn to the right group, but you know, I can only go as far as just doing the cards. It's up to you guys to pick, I guess. But I try my best. Anyway, I wish you the very best. And if you want a personal reading with me, you can do that by going down into my description box, and you can find a link to my Etsy store where you can purchase readings. And if you want to join here as a member on the channel, that can get you some exclusive pick a card content, some loyalty badges, some emojis, and stuff that you can use here on the channel. And on the third tier, you can even get a personal reading with me every month. So that's really fun. Plus, you get all the other stuff. But there's 3 different tiers. Check them out. Anyway, lots of love to you guys, and take care, and I'll see you next time. Hello, my beautiful friends. So you've chosen this Tarot of the Divine, last group here. Whew. Okay, Spirit Guides, Angels, Ancestors, guide me in this reading. Well, number 1, I pray that the right people are drawn to this reading, to this particular group. Bring the right people, Spirit, that need to hear these messages, that will hopefully gain some sort of insight from these messages. Oh my goodness. And I definitely feel like I want to use this deck, which I didn't use with the other one. Sorry, I just had to pick it up off the ground. Okay, Spirit Guides, what does the person on their mind underestimate about them? What do they underestimate? What qualities? There's a poem that's coming to my mind. Gosh, it's by Shel Silverstein, and it's like, I'm a little bit more like me, like a little bit. Gosh, I can't remember all the words. Darn it. 1 second, let me keep going, and then I might try to. I know I have it on my phone, I'm sure, because I really like Shel Silverstein. What do they underestimate about you? You're multifaceted, you're passionate and emotional. Some of you might have a lot of anxiety, but I don't feel like you're ruled by it. What do you underestimate? Candle magic. Well, maybe for some of you do candle magic, they underestimate how powerful it is. Okay, we've got candle magic. Finger the spine and caress thy lips. Light thy spell, spilling from your grip. The unknown. Think on it and you will stumble, for the heart is a ghost upon the unknown. Let it bleed into the depths, bearing nothing but desire. That's really interesting. Some of you might be quite poetic, actually. Maybe they don't know that about you. Maybe you have a very poetic type of mind. Let me look here a little bit more. I know I want to use this deck. We have the number 2 and 41, by the way, and number 9. If these numbers are important to you in some way. So the candle magic card talks about intention, prayer, and hope, okay? So, of course, because it's a spell one, right? And this can talk about cosmic forces that are lighting a pathway for you to receive even more blessings in your life. Your spiritual support team is always with you and will show you the way when you cannot see it clearly. And this can talk about moving towards peaceful times. First of all, I feel like I see this circular energy a lot. I see it here. I see it here. I see it here. And so, first of all, how well-rounded you actually are is maybe something this person doesn't see. I see the quality of emotional depth of the King of Cups, as well as the depth of passion with the King of Wands. Very strong masculine energy. And again, you don't have to be a masculine. It's just sort of like somebody who acts with a power. I feel like this person may think you're a little bit more nervous than you are for some reason. Maybe they underestimate There's something they're underestimating. Either they think you're more nervous than you are, or they're not seeing how anxious you are. But either way, though, I do feel like there's like a lot of, for some of you, they may underestimate like your spiritual experiences as well. If you've spoken to this person about your spiritual experiences, they may not understand how strongly your spirit guides interact with you or how strongly they protect you. I know that's a really interesting message, but maybe it's like they don't, maybe they're a skeptic or something, or again, maybe even if you do magic or something and they know about that, they might think it's kind of different. But there's this spiritual aspect, I think, that they don't quite fathom. And I would say actually out of the tarot cards, the King of Cups, the King of Wands, both very spiritual, very intuitive, right? Intuition is kind of based emotionally with the King of Cups, where with the King of Wands, it's going to be much more kind of like lightning strikes and stuff like that, sort of like brilliance or visions, as an example too. So the unknown requires you to be willing to take a risk. What you want cannot be achieved from a place of comfort or in doing what you already know. With significant risk comes great rewards, and the unknown says now is the time to take a leap of faith. Do not be afraid to fall. Even failure has its values and lessons that will help you grow. Be bold and be willing to go against conformity for the sake of freedom and divine alignment for your soul's purpose. This is real. Yeah, it's so funny because of that anxiety I was picking up with the Nine of Swords. It's like I can't quite tell if this person. I feel like that they may underestimate how strong you are in terms of like what you're able to do or capable of. It's like maybe somehow they have an impression that you're a little bit anxious. It could be body language. It could be a lot of different things. Okay? We have helpful item. Message and help. Again, I do feel like this person underestimates like the power of your magical abilities or your abilities to kind of connect to your spirit guides and get their help. That's what I'm really getting here. You'll receive the help you need. Also, I mean, maybe this person underestimates how much help you can give them even. Maybe they don't even realize it. Let's see. What does this person underestimate? We have that helpful item card too, which is kind of interesting. I'm going to come to that at some point. Ooh, we have Rhiannon. Ooh. So the song Rhiannon by Fleetwood Mac or Stevie Nicks or, however. We have number 5 and 30, by the way, number 2 and 41. So we have energy, healing, gratitude, and protection here with the white spring. Spiritual protection. I don't know. I wonder okay, first of all, you'll know this. Okay, so don't start to make up crap in your head if I say this, please. Okay, but if you feel like this person's like put magic on you or tried to mess with you magically, I don't feel like this person, they underestimate how freaking protected you are. Like, they don't know like how strongly you've got this fortress around you, and you're able to kind of create this sort of, it could be even that you are very good at visualizing protective boundaries around you, as an example, or like you just have a strong aura that repels things. We have Rhiannon, and it says integrity, focus, perseverance, and endurance. So perseverance and endurance are very kind of like flowing all together, right? So maybe they kind of like underestimate your ability to be perseverant, to be endurant, having a lot of endurance, sorry. Endurant. I'm just making words up, I'm sorry. We're just creating new words today. It's like, and maybe a focus too. Maybe if you have like kind of like a nervous attitude, or that's how that you've come off to them, or maybe they somehow like don't realize how much focus you're capable of, or how hard you can work or how much you can actually get done. And it's done with integrity. It's done with doing things the right way. It's done with honesty and truth and doing the right thing in a moral sense. Yeah. This almost feels to me, and I don't know, like, and I'm just going to say it because I don't think this will be the case for everyone, of course, but I'm just going to mention it. It almost feels like to me, like when like when you want to do something and your parents are like, oh, son or daughter or whatever, you'll never do that thing. Or like they don't, you can tell that they think that you're not going to follow through. I'm going to tell you I'm kind of getting those type of vibes. Maybe it's not parents or whatever, but I'm just kind of giving an example. It's like, or maybe they just don't know, Sometimes people underestimate us because they just don't know what we're capable of. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be that they think poorly of you, right? Maybe they just don't even know that part of you yet. Like that you're extremely endurant, that you always do things with like integrity. We have choose what makes you happy. It's okay to go after what you want. It might just want you to. That's so weird. These two exact cards came out in one of the other groups. Exact, at least for the top two. We have a few. Work easy, allow yourself to be in the flow and enjoy what you do. And maybe for some of you, this person could underestimate what a hard worker you are because they might like see you kind of do things in an easy way, or that you try to maybe you've learned how to kind of do things with the flow in the right way, you know what I mean? And maybe this person, it's like, maybe they underestimate like how you've made that happen even. Again, it's funny because we talk about passion and perseverance and all this kind of stuff with Rhiannon, and it says it's okay to go after what you want. It might just want you to, and she's kind of like fishing for this person. So, it makes me think of like, it's like maybe you'll catch what you want. That sort of thing, you know what I mean? You're going to go after what you want. It's okay to put yourself first and take care of your own needs before those or others. So, and for some of you, what's interesting, it's like we have this help aspect, we have helpful items. So the word help comes up. Underestimates your help. Or perhaps they underestimate how much you're there for them. Maybe they don't know that you'd be there for them through thick and thin. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a negative like, oh, they don't see you helping them. It may be like they don't know that you would do pretty much anything. You know what I mean? Like you would be around, as an example. And what's interesting here, it says it's okay to go after what you want. It might just want you to. Maybe there's some underestimation when it comes to like mutual feelings or something like that as well. Maybe they, wouldn't think that you'd like them or something like that. That could be definitely a possibility here. And some final cards here. We have Daffodil Fairy, New Beginnings, and Renewal. So perhaps they underestimate your ability to start afresh, to start new, to create, and to stick to something. We have 10 and 20, to grow. They don't know that you can double something or make it happen, that you can grow exponentially, that you can also even have renewal of passion even towards something. It's almost like if someone takes a break from something and they're like, oh, they finally gave up, and you're like, no, I'm going to renew. I'm going to renew this. I'm going to go back to it fresh, It's interesting because she's underestimating the frog, right? It's a prince. Maybe there's some kind of aspect to this where they underestimate perhaps themselves. We also have activation, spirit guardian of spring. What's interesting is we have a swan there, and it makes me think of the swan princess. And we have two things about like transformation. The frog turns into a prince, the swan princess. She's turned into a swan. There's definitely something here playing. Some of you might actually have strong like life ties to this person in terms of like your purpose is high together, or that you have some sort of like purpose or meaning. Like somehow each of you brings some sort of help to the other, and maybe they don't see all of the qualities of this yet, or they don't quite understand it. They're not quite yet aware that there is an activation here going on, that something's activating within them, that there's an importance to this. They also could underestimate somehow when it comes to you, like starting over. We have number 36. I feel like there's a good chance that this person's underestimated you in the past as well, and maybe they're not as much anymore. By the way, like maybe you've kind of proven them wrong recently, actually. And I haven't, only come up for this group, actually. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting here. Let me, I dropped some kind of oracle card. We have reframe, to express in a different manner, to redefine something, to change something from destructive to constructive, to reestablish meaning. If you've tried to reframe something with this person, like reframe a thought or something like that, they may be underestimating it, like or not seeing that clearly. We also have projection. They could be projecting their own feelings or their own issues on you, okay? Even if you tried to talk rational with this person, they may have a hard time understanding it. Like, even if you've been assertive, and you've, like, kind of reframed something, and it says here, to turn it from destructive to constructive, so it's almost like constructive talk. It's like they may even try to still project on that in some way as well. Also, if you kind of projected a certain persona, they may see that part of you more than anything else. But let me see. I don't feel like that's the case for most of you. They may underestimate, too, how much self-work you've done, how much introspection you've had, and there may be, yeah. But I do feel like there's been some sort of change or shift here with this person, to be honest. I feel like this is the one reading where I'm getting it, where maybe the person is really reframing things in their mind when it comes to you. It's like they're learning that there's some sort of, like, special quality, something that brings you back together, or somehow something like this. That's what I'm feeling. We have that energy and the healing and the gratitude and the protection as well. They could underestimate how protective you are of them too. They could also underestimate how grateful you are for them, or have been. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing. I really do hope that you guys enjoyed this reading and it was insightful in some way. It was helpful. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, because I really am looking forward to hearing from some of you. I just want to hear what you guys thought. But it always brings a lot of joy to me. But thank you so much for being here. If you want a personal reading with me, you can do that through my Etsy store. The description box has a link. And if you want to join here as a member on the channel, you can get some exclusive pick-a-card readings, as well as like some custom badges and emojis for the channel, as well as in the third tier, you can even get a personal reading. So there are 3 different tiers. Check them out. And thank you in advance for all donations, and thank you guys for being so kind when you do that. Gosh, I've had some really nice ones lately. Thank you. And then astrology channel, also I have one of those. And if you want to check that out, again, links in the description box. But take care, guys, and I hope you have a beautiful and blessed, bright day. And yeah, I'll see you next time.